to bounce Oswald back to their hand. Boom, gain a lore with our item, Maleficent Staff.
NANI?
This deck right here has everything you're familiar with a twist. In this item card that we just got in Azurite, see, it's Maleficent Staff. It says back, fools, and it has the ability whenever one of your opponent's characters, items, or locations is returned to their hand from play, gain 1 lore, and that is going to work nicely with all these character cards, with all these song cards that are going to bounce characters back to their hand, including the Emerald Chromacon. So we don't talk about Bruno, which if you don't know, returns chosen character to play to their player's hand. Boom, that'd be 1 lore. If we do that and they have to discard, boom, Mother's Knows Best, return chosen character to their player's hand. You can choose your opponent's cards, return it to hand, and then Poor Unfortunate Souls, return chosen character, item, or location with a cost 2 or less to their player's hand. Lots of people are playing some aggro locations. The fairy build, Neverland's out there right now. That's what's up. And then we have the Emerald Chromacon, which is one of the nastiest cards ever. It changes the way that you play the game. If you see this card come out, you're like, hold on, maybe I don't want to banish my opponent's card. And then you don't, and then you fall behind, and it's the bad deal. The Emerald Light ability says during your opponent's turn, whenever one of your characters is banished, you may return chosen character to their player's hand. So if they banish one of their own characters in the challenge, then you get to bounce another one of their characters. It's the Wombo combo. You can clear 2 for 1 all the time. It's so good. And then the library is here. Also, whenever a character is banished while here, you may draw a card. Don't mind if I do. Card draw, underrated. And then we have 1 additional character that we got from this set. Kit Cavalkicker also bounces characters back to their player's hand. A super good late game play. Like, it's not a dead draw when you pull it later. But then this Diablo is the other one that we got to talk about. Well, this character is banished, you may draw a card. So if this card is banished while at the library, you can draw 2 cards, 1 for Diablo and 1 for the library. We like it. We like this list. And the thing that we like the most, it says 61 up there. That's right. Who's the one odd duck? We'll never know. It's a perfectly balanced list as all things should be. And it's only running 5 uninkables. That's crazy. If you have a problem in red-blue and you're like, oh gosh, I have lots of uninkables. Oh, I'm having a problem. Run this list. There's 5 uninkables. There's 3 Mother's Knows Best and 2 Emerald Chromacons. Those are the only 2 cards that you can't put in the drink. And that's okay with us. And look at how budget this is, dude. $51 for this meta-breaking deck. We're excited to play it. We're going to go to Menu, Export, Ink Table, and play on Ink Table.
Things that we learned in this video. I don't know how to say Mother Gothel. Number 2, Tamatoa is one crab that I don't want to see. And number 3, Maleficent's Staff pairs well in the Maleficent's deck. Go figure. I'm talking about this super rare Maleficent that says that you return a whole bunch of characters and stuff for Maleficents that you have in play. That if you have Maleficent Staff, they made it for that deck, but it goes well in this deck.
We are going against one of the best decks in the meta right now, which is the red-blue Oswald items. We got lots of cards in our hand that we need to figure out what to do. We have our 1-drop that we like. We have this, which we could sing. There's Maleficent Staff. That's our 2-drop. That's what we want to go for. 2 libraries is too much. But if we do that, does it say banish it? It does say banish. That could be the Wombo combo play later. We kind of like this hand, but I think there's better stuff to get. Maybe we don't need libraries. I think libraries might be later game plays than what we got going on. There we go. Refilled our hand a little bit better. They go first. They don't play a card. We love to see it. We can ink a card. Is it going to be the Broom? Is it going to be Chernobog's Followers? Is it going to be Madam M Snake whenever one of your opponent's characters are items? So it's not ours. We can't bounce our own stuff and get free lore. But we have to do other stuff to get the free lore. Return chosen item. We like that. We like that that's a song a lot. And we can sing that with the snake. Don't mind if I do. So I think we will ink Chernobog's Followers and play the Broom. And then we'll pass the turn. There it is. They're up at 2 ink. Could be the Oswald. It's a vision of the future. They look at the top 5 cards. They get to keep 1 and then put the rest on the bottom of their deck. We can ink a card. I think we're going to get out the snake so we can sing Poor Unfortunate Souls when we get down the Maleficent's item. So like if they put down an Oswald, boom, we bounce it back with Poor Unfortunate Souls. I think it's going to be a good wombo combo. So we are going to quest our broom. And then we need to ink a thing. We can ink maybe Diablo at this point, but Diablo's a good bounce for Madam M Fox. I think we're going to ink Diablo, and then we will play our Madam M Snake to bounce our broom back to hand. We're not going to use the broom's ability because we already bounced it back to hand. And then we're going to pass the turn. Now we have this Mim primed to sing Poor Unfortunate Souls to bounce an item back. They play that, it's going to bounce it back to their hand. Don't mind if I do. So I am going to play the Maleficent Staff. Bop. And then I am going to sing Poor Unfortunate Souls with Madam Mim Snake. It's going to bounce the sisu back to their hand. Return card. Oh my goodness. Silly me. Silly my. This is a 3-cost card. And Poor Unfortunate Souls is only for cost 2. Zooga booga. What did I do? Oh no. Zoinks? Am I right? Alright, so now we have to choose one of our cards to bounce back to hand. Is it the snake? Kinda. Is it the staff? A little bit. Looking like the snake. Weird choices made from Readysetink coming into play. We can go ahead and ink the snake so we never make that mistake again, and then we can play a Diablo and then pass the turn. If they play another Sisu, we get to draw a card, and we like that. They're up at 4 ink, and we have no smoke. And look at that. There's the Oswald that we wanted to bounce with Poor Unfortunate Souls. Gosh, how embarrassing. All right, we can go up to 4 ink, but do we wanna? Not really. We are going to play Poor Unfortunate Souls to bounce Oswald back to their hand. Boom. Gain a lore with our item, Maleficent Staff. That's what we should have done long ago. And then we can if we ink Bruno, I don't know. Then we could play both of these. We do need to ink a card. It's looking like Diablo, so we can play the broom. And then we will quest our bird, and hopefully they take out our bird, and we get to draw a card. Because card draw is sick. There is the Oswald. And next turn, they banished our bird, and we're going to draw a card when they banish our bird. We got Mother Gothel, which is a good deal. They got Gaston out. That makes us feel not warm and fuzzy inside. We can ink a card and then send Oswald back to hand. And that'd be so funny. Do we ink the goat? Never ink the goat. Do we ink the Gaston? We ink Madam Mim, and then we can play, or we don't talk about Bruno. Sending Oswald back to their hand. Get out of here. They have to discard a Maui, Wowie, Zowie pizza. And then we pass the turn, even though they could Medusa next turn? Question mark? Yeah, we pass the turn, just so they don't Medusa us. We force their Medusa. They do Sisu. It banishes our characters. And then we have Mother Gothel for next turn. When you play this character, each opponent chooses, and they choose. Ooh. We are going to ink Merlin the Goat, and then we are going to play Mother Gothel. They have to choose one of their cards, of course. It is Gaston, and then we pass the turn. And the next turn, we will bounce it, and then play Mother Gothel again. They're questing for 3. That's too many. We can't keep up. And then they play Gaston. That's too many. We can't keep up. There's Tipo. They're going to ink Sail the Azurite Sea. And then Oswald triggers, and then put Sail the Azurite Sea on the bottom of the deck. We are going to... Oh, this can take it out. That's great. That's perfect. We can challenge and survive that challenge, and then we can go ahead and play our snake to bounce her back to hand, and then we can play our muses getting ready for next turn, and then we'll just pass the turn. Yeah, they have 3 cards in play. Yeah, they have the best item in the whole Lorcana, but that's okay. Everything's fine. We get 2 Mother Gothels. I think we want to guarantee that Oswald's gone. So we are going to Oh yeah, we take out both and then we bounce Gaston to hand. That's such a good deal. We are going to challenge our Muse into the Oswald. Boom, there you go. In a real match, they would never have quested their Oswald. And then we will challenge their Madame Mim into the Tipo. In a real match, they probably would have quested the Depot. And then we can play Mother Gothel. They're going to have to bounce the Gaston back to hand. When they bounce a card back to their hand, boom, we gain a lore with Maleficent. And then we pass the turn. And then Mother Gothel is here primed, ready to go for the next one. They can't even Lucky Dime because Gaston doesn't have lore. He's just reckless, and we're going to bounce it back to hand right now. We're going to play Mother Gothel. We're not going to shift it, even though that'd be kind of crazy. And then we quest the snake. We get to quest the Muses for one big one. And then, ooh, what's that? Mother Gothel quest for two. Don't mind if I do. And then we pass the turn. We're not out of the woods yet because Lucky Dime could really just close out games like what they have right there. If they use Lucky Dime on that Tamatoa, they can just close out games. So we will get to play our Broom. We want to play our Broom first because we are going to draw this turn by playing the Chernobog's Followers. To banish the Broom, to draw a card, it's Madame Mim Faux. And we like that because if we can, we are going to quest a Gothel. And then we are going to play a Fox to bounce Gothel back to our hand. Because next turn, if they don't play another card, we can hopefully bounce the Tamatoa. Am I right? There's no cost restrictions. We're good to go. And then we're going to quest. That's 14. That's 15. And here is 16, 17. And then we'll pass the turn. Overall, MVP, definitely Mother Gothel. Gothel? Don't at me. Why are you adding me? And then we can play Mother Gothel. Not shifted to bounce. Tamatoa to hand. Oh no. If they play Tamatoa and Dime. Oh, but we win this turn. Okay, we're good. We're going to quest with Mother. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Don't correct me of how I say Mother Gothel. I don't want to hear it. Zuga Booga, what about her?